Good morning. What's up, my dudes? It's Michael. It's me again, out here doing my garden thing. Usually, I've been at work for a couple hours by now. I work at a coffee shop, so usually up before any of you guys think about it. But I'm off today, so I get to spend some morning time. And the last couple days have been awesome because we've gotten so much rain. I haven't had to go out and water my plants. Which is awesome as long as it has like that happy medium. I don't want my plants to drown, but it does cut about an hour to hour and a half off of my evenings when I don't have to haul a bunch of water outside. So I've been happy. Today I'm going to show you guys my garden and show you guys a few things that I'm learning as I go, that if you guys are starting your own garden or thinking about it next year or even this fall, things to help keep your plants healthy. So we talked about my pepper plants on the porch a couple days ago, and that's where I'm sitting at today. I've pruned a couple of them to keep them healthy. At the same time, I left one to prune so I can show you guys what I do, and so that you guys can keep your plants healthy and growing and productive. So as I said in video 1, I'm learning as I go. So if you guys seen me doing something that you know better than to do, comment, tell me what I'm doing wrong. Tell me don't do it again. Also, as far as learning as I go, a lot of my plants you couldn't really see last time because it was like, boom, boom, yeah, that was cool. But I'm gonna slow it down. Camera work doesn't like to be fast and blurry because then people can't look at it. These guys are my pepper plants that are growing in one container. If you look at this guy, these guys get little shooters right here in the like the armpit of the plant where two plants come from. You can see it in multiple places. They get guys that look like this. You see how this guy is shooting up right here out of the armpit. And if you look, they do it almost all of them. You got another guy right there. Those guys want to be healthy and green, and they want to stay fed, and they're going to keep sucking the life out of the rest of your plant until you get rid of them. Once you clear those from your plant, the resources that they were stealing from your fruit can now go to your fruit, which is what we're wanting to do. So I've seen videos online where people prune. They just take their fingers and pinch it off. You guys didn't see any of that, but I just pinched this guy off. I'll do another one that you guys should be able to see. So I'm gonna take this guy right there. Just pinch them off. They come off pretty easy. Another method that I've seen that you have to do if you let them go too long, with scissors. You can use some nice kitchen scissors, some outside garden scissors, some shears, anything that's sharp and is going to give a good cut, a good clean cut, and is clean. Something you wouldn't want to do is to say these peppers had blight and then cut off all of the parts that are sick and then go to the next plant and keep pruning away, not realizing that you may spread that disease onto the next plant. So especially if your plants aren't looking healthy, keep your shears, your scissors, whatever you're cutting with, keep it really clean, to just keep healthy plants. So I pretty much got these guys. Another thing that I found out along with bell pepper plants, and apparently it happens with other varieties as well, if you look at this guy, he looks kind of sick, like right where all the branches are coming off of, and you can see like that blackish, purplish, almost looks moldy. From what I've read, from what I've watched and researched, that is all healthy part of a green bell pepper plant. And some other varieties. Not all your pepper plants are going to get like that. One of the warning signs I did read is that if that ring encircles the plant, encircles that stem is diseased and damaged, and you need to get rid of it before it spreads to the next area. And I'm going to show you these black spots one more time. I'll show you on one that I had on a leaf that I messed up and accidentally decapitated. They break easy. I didn't mean to kill this guy, even though he's starting to get eaten up. Like I was going to try to control the aphids and all that good stuff, but in pruning that little armpit area they got, he's sacrificed. But this is where the dude came from. If you look, you got that purple line that's on top, but does not go around. From what I've read and researched, that is a sign of blight if you have black rings around stems. Don't do it. Blight doesn't sound good. I've read a lot of bad things about it, so. And no, I'm not from Michigan. My wife collects these cups, and when we went to Michigan, I snagged it. These guys were planted at the same exact time as these guys. For comparison, there is my hand, and there is my hand. So, I'm not quite sure what the deal is with these. One thing I have noticed is the plant that is smaller, they're getting these little brown spots and curling up almost as if they're dry. Maybe they're getting sunburnt. If you know what's going on with my plants, comment, let me know. I want to save them. If you single-handedly give me the info to save those plants, I'll give you all the peppers off the middle guy. So I pruned this. It's either lemon balm or basil. I'm not sure. I pruned it all the way down to the ground. Same thing with my lemon balm or basil or lemon balm and basil. These are my lettuce guys. This one has been butchered and cut up the most for sandwiches. We had hamburgers last night. All the lettuce came out of this garden. If you see a disease on our lettuce that's going to kill me today, don't tell me about it. I'd rather die in ignorance. But yeah, they get pretty big. Here I go. I gotta keep reminding myself to slow down because I don't like to be slow. I don't like to go slow. So gardening is really against everything I know, and all of my habits are anti-gardening because I don't have patience. So maybe I'll grow in this season along with my plants. But anyway, back to my pepper family that I've peppered in this little area. It's kind of funny. My mulch bed kind of almost is in the shape of North Carolina, which is weird. But yeah, you can see the mulch. And so I got these guys out here. I found it. A lot more pests live on your plants when you plant them in the ground than when you plant them in a planter box on your porch. So yeah, got my little pepper family going on. Don't know if you can see any bulbs coming in on any of these yet, but I got like 6 or so coming in on the porch. I'm looking, I don't see them. But a little tip that I found off the garden, off the internet about my garden. You see these leaves are just being eaten. This guy's sad. I feel really bad, and I feel incompetent when my plants get attacked. But at the same time, I haven't harvested any yet. I imagine I'll be vindicated if I get a harvest off these guys. But I want to show you. Oh, look, got some bulbs going. Those are going to be flowers, which will eventually lead to fruit if I'm lucky. But what I'm doing is I'm showing you where these little bugs hide. I do believe those two little brown spots are aphids. So if you're wanting to keep your garden fresh and clean, the tip that I've been given is to check the very top on these leaves right here, to fold these leaves over, because they like to hide on top of the plants and under the leaves. Onto my zucchini. Zucchini's still growing. I got a little bit of predation going on the leaves, but nowhere near as bad as my peppers. It's really weird. Peppers are like super hot, and I know the leaves aren't, but for it to be the most painful plant in my garden to eat, these little guys are loving it. Yeah, got a little bit of zucchini going on. Got a little fly hanging out over there. Don't know what he is, but I'm going to Google fly problems with zucchinis when I get off this video and see if I got to worry about this guy laying eggs that will eat my plants. Yeah, got a little bundle. So zucchini is really weird, and I'm imagining all squash are like this. I'm learning a lot, but like when you look at the base of a zucchini plant, this is a different plant, but same variety of zucchini. It kind of reminds me of like someone who's in a hurry setting up your TV system and leaving a bundle of wires that'll take you 5 hours to figure out which one goes where. That's what the base of the zucchini remind me of. So these guys, I'm really hyped about my raised beds. They continue to overgrow past my expectations that I had, especially like dealing with my in-ground situation over there. I didn't know how this would go. Thought it might be throwing money down the road into the drain, and it may be. Who knows? We'll know in a month or 2 or 3 or next year. I don't know when we'll know. But I'm going to step out here. Got my Roma tomato plant going on. As you can see down in here, it's got some flowers starting to bloom. Hopefully it attracts enough pollinators back here to get the job done. Kind of weary. I've seen them all up front on like everywhere up front. If I sit on my porch, I see wasps, hornets, bees, all the stingy things. I know they're not the only thing that pollinate, but they play a big part in pollinating. I haven't seen any in my backyard. I'm debating on doing the Q-tip method of pollination, just because then I know I will get something. Even if it's rotten and not edible, it'll at least make me feel better to see fruit growing on my plant. So back to the Roma that I killed. He's still trying to grow. He's wanting to put out leaves. At this point, I still expect 0 from him, but he may be a redemptive story that I can tell at the end of the season. Who knows? That would be kind of perfect. We'll cross that road when it gets here. Got some more little guys going on this. This is my early girl variety. There we go. So it's a hybrid, which just means it was cross-pollinated with it's 2 species. So this is some tomatoes kid out here living the dream, ready to get eaten at the end of the summer. Just planted it. So this is my butternut squash. He's starting to get a little wily at the bottom too. Cantaloupe. These guys, apparently they're the best jumbo cantaloupe. I don't know. I'll let you know in August. Nothing too different about my peppers. One thing I am starting to notice. Peppers, the plants all look almost identical, except for one monster I got going in my risers. So I'm pretty confident it's still a pepper plant, but you'll see. So I got this guy, Tabasco. Tabasco is going to be our like everyday pepper that I use for spice. They bring spice. You can see he's growing. He's doing his thing. And this guy, he is a red ghost pepper. Looking down from above, you can barely tell them apart. Now we get to the shishito pepper. look at this guy. Not only, obviously, is he much taller off the bat, like, already got like a little stick sticking in there. I'm gonna have to replace that stick with a real metal stick at some point. But when I put him in the ground, he was already tall and kind of leaning, so I improvised with the trash adder on the ground and repurposed this stick off the ground. But yeah, the shishito is branching out slightly different and just looks like a different plant. I don't know. Sure, it'll be tasty. So these guys, when I put them in, they were true seedlings. I'm trying to remember what these guys are. I kind of forget. I'm thinking they're going to be squash. But it's weird because the leaves don't look like squash. In fact, they almost look exactly like their neighboring plant, which I know is not a squash. So I think that's squash, that guy right there. Which literally it still had the seed attached to the top of the little sprout that it was putting up when I planted them in here 5-6 days ago. Then look at the cucumber. They look almost identical. Oh no, I've learned really quick that I have very insufficient growing space for this cucumber, because if you look, I got 3 in a row. Boom, boom, and boom. The only thing they're going to be able to grow up is this little tomato tower, this tomato cage, and I have a strong feeling that it's not going to work. So I'm trying to brainstorm some sort of trellis idea, specifically in that area, to give my cucumber space to grow. Kim loves cucumbers. I love pickles. Cucumbers just seem like the right plant to grow for us. Outside of bell peppers and sweet peppers, I think it's the fruit that we'll use most from the garden, because of its practicality and how much it puts off. Like the next plant I'm about to show you, we would use it most, but strawberries only put out so much. I got a couple different strawberries going on. Sorry about the lighting, it's been overcast. And you may see that I'm wearing a hoodie. June 1st is a Tuesday, and today is Friday. We had some crazy cold front come in, which actually has me worried about my especially my hot peppers, my Tabasco, and my Ghost. Rumor has it if it drops below 50, your peppers aren't very hot. So glad our low was 50. I hope we stayed slightly above. I don't know all the ins and outs of it, but I keep reading the same thing. Don't let your peppers go below 50. So we'll see. But back to the strawberries. You can see that I got some trying to grow out of their flowers. This guy doesn't have much yet, but they were planted at the same time. This guy definitely already had fruits. This guy did not. So your dates of fruits that you see on your tags are definitely suggestive. Obviously, the strawberry plants, the one that has the fruit isn't ready to be picked today. And it's funny because I'm looking at the tag and it doesn't even say. Most of your tags will have information on them. Most of them are really important things. This does not have a date to fruit. Most of them have a how many days after planting will you get your first fruit. Obviously, they're all estimates. And some plants may be a week old when you transplant them, so maybe 3 weeks old. So there's a little bit of leeway. It's not like solid. You're going to have it exactly at this date, but it gives you a window. It gives you an idea. And this is an example for one that does. If you look right around here, there's a maturity. It says 75 days. So in 75 days, this sun sugar cherry tomato should be producing fruit. Like I said, that's not exact science, but we'll see how it goes. Yeah, so that's that guy. My sun sugar cherry hybrids. Only got one of those going. I think I'm going to do a lot more cherries next year and less of the bigger guys like the Roma and the Early Girl. I kind of planted Roma because it's like a famous, everybody has heard of a Roma tomato. Come on. If you haven't, I don't know what your excuse is, but you don't have one. So yeah, Roma. And then Early Girl intrigued me because it's like, oh, it's going to produce fast. I'll take it. But practicality on like feeding my family, I think I might get a couple slicers going. Maybe the Early Girl, I might stick to that next year. I may get some indeterminate variety that just keeps growing. But I'd say 95% of my tomato plants are going to be cherries or grapes or something smaller that just continues to produce a bigger harvest all year. And let's check out our watermelon. This guy has got a couple different sprouts going. It's kind of weird. If you see the root, I haven't, like, you guys know that I haven't grown before, but I'm gonna have to put down my coffee to point out something. But do you guys see, there's wood chips in the way, where this root goes into the ground, it straight up turns black. Is that normal? I don't know. Let me know. Anytime you guys have garden tips that you want to give me to help me be more successful, just post them in the comments. I'll check on them as often as I can. I think that's about the end of my garden tour. As I continue to do things, and I continue to learn things, I plan on being posting a video every time I'm doing something new that I haven't done before, so that you guys can continue your education journey with me. Also plan on posting anything exciting, so like, of course, I'm going to post any harvest I get off my plants this year, or when they start showing fruit. I think I plan on mostly posting a video once a week, just to keep people informed on what's going on in my garden. And I'll post any emergencies or any highlights in between it. Today's Friday. It's a nice overcast Friday. I hope you guys make the best of your weekend. I hope you guys have a good weekend. Enjoy the holiday that's coming up if you're in the service or related to people in the service. Thanks for your service. Yeah, you guys are awesome. Keep being awesome and start growing your own greens. You guys take care, and we'll see you around. Bye.